Hello Crafty Llamas, in this video I'll be showing you how to pick up dropped stitches. So for this you are going to need either a swatch or the piece of work where you've dropped your stitch and your crochet hook. I find using a crochet hook the easiest. This is a Tunisian hook, but it does exactly the same as a regular crochet hook, so it's absolutely fine. I'm using 3.75mm needles, and I've just got 20 stitches on my needles at the moment, and then I've got a 3mm crochet hook. I find it easier to use a crochet hook slightly smaller than the needle that you're using, just because it means you've got a little bit more wiggle room. So let's have a look at how to do this. So dropping stitches is something that everyone does. I do it regularly when I'm kind of watching TV and knitting, and I'll stop paying attention, and then all of a sudden I kind of look down and I'm like, oh crap, I dropped a stitch. So in order to help you, I'm gonna drop this next stitch and let that unravel like so. So what you'll have once you've dropped stitches, you're gonna have this really loose bit of yarn in the middle like so. And then you're going to have a little loop here which is trying to escape down another stitch. So what you want to do is pull up that loop, which is your previous stitch, like so. So I've just pulled that up, and you've got your yarn at the back of your work because it was a knit stitch that I dropped. I'll also show you how to do this with purl stitches as well, don't worry. So what you're going to need to do is grab your crochet hook, pop it through the front to the back of your work and pick up that strand of yarn like so. And then you need to slide it back onto your needle in the same direction as, so that either the front leg is facing you, or if you, so for me, the front leg will be on this side of the needle and the back leg will be closer to my working needle, if that makes sense. So you just want to compare it to your stitches that you already have on your needle and make sure that you've slipped it on the right way. If you need to slip it on the other way, simply do it like so. So just make sure that when you slip it on your needle, the correct leg is at the front for you, depending on how you knit. And it is, honestly, it is as simple as that to pick up a stitch, and then you literally just knit it as you would. So let's drop a stitch back a couple rows and see how we deal with that. So that's if you just drop a singular stitch by one row. So let's just, all I've done there is I've just dropped that stitch, and I'm just going to pull it back a couple rows. So I've just got my crochet hook here, pop that back, that's 1 and 2. What I've got here is, this is my loop of the stitch, which is where I'm at now, and then I have 2 strands here, as you can see. So what I need to do is I need to go through the front to the back of the stitch and pull up that first dropped strand of yarn. Oh, and for some reason I'm picking up the wrong one, like so, and pull that up. Oh. And pull that up like that, and now I've got the 1 strand at the back again, so I just need to pull that hook out and go in like so, and just pull up again like so, and slip that on. And there you have how to pick up your dropped knit stitches. And as you can see there, this is the one that I've just picked up. It looks absolutely no different from the rest, and I'll just knit that one. So if you drop a couple stitches in a row and they drop back a couple, let me show you how to deal with that. So let's drop 2. So I've just dropped those off my needle. I'm just going to use my crochet hook to pull them back as if 1 and oh, there we go, and 2. So I've now got the 2 long loops at the back there, as you can see, and I have the 2 short loops at the front, which are your dropped stitches. So to stop them dropping any further, I'm going to pop the one from the right hand side onto my right hand needle, just so that doesn't pull back any further. Okay. And then I'm going to deal with the left hand stitch first. So like I did last time, I'm just going to stick my crochet hook through there, and I'm going to pick up the first long bit of yarn at the back, and then I'm going to slip that on my left hand needle. I just need to make sure I'm slipping on the right way around for me. Just that way. Perfect. And then I'm going to slip the other drop stitch off my right hand needle, just so that I can do the same on that side. And then you literally just pull that up like so. Perfect. And slip that on your needle. I'm going to keep them on different needles for now, just because personally I find it easier. I haven't grabbed that one very well. There we go. Like so. I've got that caught up there. And there we are. Cool. And then obviously what I need to do now, oh wow, I've dropped another one in the process. This is going well, isn't it? There we go. Whew. Getting myself in a right tizzy. So what I'm going to do now is do what I did last time all over again. So I'm going to slip the one off my left hand needle just so I can pick up that last row of stitches. So because it looks a little bit tight, I'm just going to slip my crochet hook in before I drop it off, like so. And then I'm just going to grab that yarn from the back and pull it on through like that, and slip that onto my needle. Ta-da! And do the same with this one. Pop that like that so it doesn't come off again. So here is my little loop at the front. Just going to pop my hook through. I'm going to find that strand of yarn that I need to pick up, which is there. Can you see? Like so. So I'm going to grab that and pull it through. Needles really get in the way when you're trying to show someone how to do this. And pull that through and up like that. And then I'm just going to slip that onto my left hand needle because both stitches still need knitting. And obviously I've still got my working yarn on my right hand side, or on the right hand side of my knitting. And then you can literally just go and knit them as you would normally. And there we are. So that's how you pick up knit stitches. So I'm going to show you how to do it with purl. So I'm just going to knit to the end of this row, and then I'm going to show you how to do the same process but with a purl stitch. Okay, so let's drop the next purl stitch. So I'm going to slide it off my needle like so, and then I'm just going to use my crochet hook to pull that back a row. So here, so the difference is when you are purling your stitches is the now loose bit of yarn will be facing you. So this will be at the front of your work rather than when it was knitted and it was at the back. And that's just because that's where you hold your yarn. So to do this one, you need to go through the back of the stitch and grab that yarn. So I've just gone through the back, so back to front, and then you just grab that yarn and pull it up. And then once again, you just slide it onto your needle like so. And then you can just purl as you would usually. So this is also really helpful if, I've done it a few times where you've got like whether you're doing a raised pattern, so you knit some and then you purl some for an effect, or you're doing ribbing. So I've sometimes found that, once again when I haven't been paying attention, because I'm usually watching TV when I'm knitting at home, is for example, if I'm doing a knit 2 purl 2 rib, that I have accidentally knitted 3 or purled 3. So what I'll do is I'll just, towards the end of this row, I'm just going to throw in a knit stitch instead of a purl stitch and show you how to correct that as well, so that you know how that works. It's exactly the same, you just have to move where your yarn is, whether it's at the front or the back. What you need to remember is if it's at the front of your work on this side, then it's going to come out as a purl stitch, and you need to go through the back of the stitch. If the yarn is at the back of your work, so on that side, then it's going to be a knit stitch, and you need to go from the front to the back of your work. Okay, right, so now when I turn it over, you can see that I've got 2 knit and then I've got a purl, just like so. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to knit the first 2 and then I'm going to correct this mistaken stitch. So we're going to knit the first 2, like so, and then I'm going to deliberately slip that off my needle, like that. And you just want to, so the bit that I pull to pull it back is, you will see that there's like 2, you can see the strand of wool that you've used to knit it at the side. So all I do is I just pull up on that and it pops it out. So when it's popped it out with this strand at the front of the work. So this is the loop, this is my this stitch from the previous row. And then here is the yarn that I'm going to use to knit it. So if I were to do it this way, if I dropped it and I go in from the back to the front and pull it up, then obviously I then get another purl stitch. As you can see there, the bubbles at the front. So, and I want a knit stitch. So all I need to do is, I've just pulled that back, is I'm just going to move that yarn to the back of the stitch, like so. And I'm going to go in the front and use my crochet hook to pick it up, like so, and slide it onto my needle. And then I'm going to knit it, and then we'll have a look to see what that looks like. So if you remember, that was a knit, knit, and then a purl. And now if we look at it all, it's now just knit stitch again. And there we have it. That is how to pick up dropped knit and purl stitches. And as you can see, once you've done it a few times, it is so easy to do. And I always find I did have to watch like the video that I used to learn a couple times when it had happened, because it isn't always the most natural. But as long as you've got yourself a little crochet hook, it is the easiest thing in the world to do. And you can pick up crochet hooks really cheaply if you want, if you haven't got any. Of course, you can get one from Crafty Llama UK. So that is it for today's video. And I hope this has helped you pick up any of your dropped stitches. So if you have enjoyed this video, please let me know by commenting below and liking it. I do have weekly videos, so do subscribe to my channel. Our social media handle is Crafty Llama UK, so you can find us on various platforms using that. Please tag us if you attempt anything in this video or if you found it helpful. And of course, you can purchase the hooks, cables and needles that I have used in today's video from my Etsy shop, which I will link below. That's it for this week's video, but I'll be back with you next week for another video. Bye!